being someone that has been consciously or subconsciously working on their personal brand for, I'd say, more than 13 years. If you got on YouTube right now, you could find a video of me putting together a piece of power washing equipment and explaining to someone how to use it. I've been doing this for a while. I took that concept because it was the age I grew up in. Like, I would have graduated high school in 2004. I was born in 1985. And so I grew up from some of the first generations of having like computers in class, Oregon Trail. I remember, I got a cell phone in 7th grade, and that was a big deal. Like the Nokia with Snake on it. Like, that wasn't, every kid didn't have that. And growing up with technology and then seeing very quickly that, like, when I got out of high school in 04, and when I was going towards what became a bigger part of my life, getting in trouble probably than it should have been, Facebook, MySpace, like Instagram wasn't even out yet. MySpace and Facebook were just landing. And it was like the advancement of technology had a huge part of my growth, but it wasn't a plan. It was when preparation was meeting opportunity. So when I got out of prison when I was 24, I had never been on a dating app. I never had a MySpace, but I understood what Facebook was and the power of it, to use it as a business owner. And when I saw the ability to like get on a video and tell someone about something, it was right in the days of like when I opened my window cleaning company when I was around 25. The old days of like forums and chat rooms were still around, but like Facebook groups, Facebook pages, all this shit was brand new. And the way that I saw the ability to communicate with hundreds or thousands or hundreds of thousands of people was like, these people I saw were getting on video and just talking about the shit they were doing. So what did I start doing? I started taking my cell phone to job sites and just talking about like, hey, I'm out here in Wayzata cleaning this house and here's what we're doing. Or I'm getting in the truck, loading it up. Here's what we're going to do today. And very quickly, I can't say I was naturally like comfortable on video, but what I saw was like there was a bunch of people putting out really low quality, shitty videos. And I knew I could at least do that good. Is like do at least the baseline of what the people that I was like being critical of, I could at least do as good as them, if not a little bit better. So I started doing it. And like most things that I try to get better at in life, I didn't do it once a month. I didn't do it once a week. I did it every fucking day. It was like getting on video, just talking. And I had people from high school that like, dude, will you stop posting this shit? You're annoying. You're spamming your business. Not everyone wants to know about your stupid window cleaning company. I just didn't really care. I was like, there are people that need to know how to do this. And then about a year in, I need to know about what we're doing. And then about a year in, I realized like you could boost videos on your Facebook business page and like target people in a 5-mile area that owned a home. I was like, who the hell needs their windows cleaned or their gutters cleaned or their siding cleaned? I was like, the people in a 5-mile radius of our shop that own a home. And maybe they make a certain amount of money. Or maybe they've lived their house in a certain amount of time. Or maybe their house is a certain years old or whatever that made them a better profile for my customer. When I started to understand that I could make these videos and just show them to people that were more likely to use my services, I saw the avenues that you were able to do that. And I was like, how do I spend, I didn't have a lot of money, but I had a lot of time. And I was like, how do I use my most valuable currency, which is my time, to get these videos in front of more people? And at the times that I didn't have time to run ads, or I was spending hundreds of dollars running ads every day and I wasn't getting a result, I didn't understand it, I was like, where can I at least put these videos? And it was like Angie's List, Facebook groups, forums, just people that were more likely to use my services. I was like, where the hell are they hanging out? Where are they spending their time? Remember, at this time, 14 years ago, 13 years ago, 12 years ago, not everyone had their cell phone in their hand all day. You didn't look at your phone when you were reminded and it would tell you like, you spent 9.5 hours a day looking at your phone yesterday. Like, as crazy as that is, I know you've all seen it. That wasn't quite the world we were living in at that point. But I did understand the power of technology. I understand that phones were getting more powerful, people were getting more connected, and there were places that were being developed that there were simply more people hanging out. And so my job became understanding those platforms, how to create content, looking at other people creating content, and not just people that were like washing windows, mowing lawns, doing shit, but like the influencers, the people. Look up Gary Vee 13 years ago. This dude is making videos in his wine shop yelling. I was watching that shit, just trying to figure out like anyone putting out a bunch of content, simply like, what are they doing? What are they doing right? What's working? The people that were getting thousands or hundreds of thousands or millions of views, like, how could I steal like an artist? How could I look at, dude, get in a fucking lane. Which one? How could I look at a version of what they were doing, and then how could I duplicate that and try as best as I can to do that myself, so that when I was trying to get inspired, trying to make an idea, trying to think of what I was going to film today to educate people on how to better hire me for the services that I offered, I could go to someone that was simply doing something the way I defined it as well, and then I could duplicate their efforts to get inspired to steal like an artist and simply get my message in front of people that were more likely to hire me. So whether I had money to run ads or I had time to figure out where the people were digesting this content, it all came down to, I won't only say my personal brand, but as I got better at creating content, I was getting more ideas. I was exposing myself. What's the metric? I forgot. It's like you got to do something for 100 hours to become an expert. Well, I was definitely focused, and I would take this to anything that I've gotten relatively good at in my life. I get obsessive, and I just spend time figuring out how other people that are good at something are doing it. And the way I do that is I find people that are doing a version of something that I think they're doing a good job, and I just become a sponge. I'm not too critical of myself. I don't get too worked up on if something's like good or great, but I'm a big fan of like imperfect action. And whether it's building a personal brand or building a brand for your business, creating content will eventually get people to pay attention. And if people are paying attention, whether it's people in your niche or your industry that because you're creating content you can learn from them, or you're just putting out content and your business is growing, educating people on why you are an expert and the problems you solve, it'll never hurt you. So whether it's for your personal brand or just building the brand of your business, because sometimes one of those cups fills the other one and vice versa. If I could challenge anyone, it's pull your phone out and regularly record content of why you do what you do, how you do what you do, how you get better at doing what you're doing, what a day in the life of someone that does what you do is doing. Just simply creating content that educates people on what you do. Because at the bare minimum, you could take those videos, you could go on Facebook or Instagram and simply run ads based on very, very brief targeting to people that are more likely to use your services. So if you have a local business and you service a 10-mile area, you can literally run ads in a place to people simply talking about what you do geographically that will get you more business. And I think that's one thing that any business owner can execute on. If you're not making content, if you're only making content once a month, try to do it once a week. If you're doing it once a week, try to do it 3 times a week. If you're doing it 3 times a week, try to do it 7 times a week. And just make a list of the things that would make it easier for someone to make a buying decision. Like, how do you educate them on why they should hire you? How easy it is to hire you? The different reasons that other people just like them have hired you, and just talk about that. Because if you can build trust with your customers through a personal brand or through the brand of your business, everyone wins because everyone grows.